Success is not a one size fits all. It's going to be personal. It is deeply personal. Your definition of success is not going to match mine, and that's okay. Isn't that a beautiful thing that we all get to create what that looks like to us? And when you block out the noise and you focus on what your values are, that's when you can really take off. True success comes from what matters to you, what your passions are, what your values are, and who you are as a person. Hello and welcome to Beyond the Scale. I am your co-host, Maddie, and today we're talking about redefining success in your own terms. I feel like with social media and the constant comparisons that go on in life, it's incredibly hard to filter out the noise and measure success in our own way, in our own terms, right? We have all these external standards and societal expectations, but what I'm here to tell you is that true success comes from what matters to you, what your passions are, what your values are, and who you are as a person. And growing up, I felt the immense amount of pressure to follow societal norms and expectations and hit this traditional success path. All of these things like income milestones, getting a college degree, having babies, all of these things like climbing the corporate ladder, I felt like needed to matter to me because that I constantly compared myself to others. I'm like, well, I'm not doing that, therefore I'm not successful. That's not what everyone else is doing. I'm not meeting these societal benchmarks, so what am I even doing with my life? But honestly, deep down, I felt like these things didn't align with who I was as a person, and I didn't know that that was okay to want different things. And first off, I didn't want to go to college. I thought that's what my parents expected and what I was supposed to do, and I switched majors like it was my job, like flip-flopped everywhere around. And I knew that I wanted something different. I knew that prioritizing work-life balance was important to me, to make my own schedule, to not burn myself to death. I knew it was important for me to focus on personal growth, which is why psychology was so profound to me, because I was like understanding people, understanding myself, and meaningful relationships. Not having the best relationships growing up and in my life, it was meaningful for me to focus on that aspect of my life. Having time freedom, being able to travel, all of these things were important to me, but I didn't think that they were acceptable as far as how we define success. And I remember my mom used to say, I would love you if you lived on a deserted island with a bunch of wild animals. And that was her way of saying to me that she didn't expect me to follow the status quo or meet these societal expectations, and that her love was unconditional, which I didn't know that. I thought she wanted me to do these things that society expects you to do. And in her telling me this over time, it gave me the confidence to kind of shift my focus and let go of this outside noise, these external expectations, and start focusing on creating a definition of success that felt more authentic to me. That's why I became an entrepreneur, because that's all those things I mentioned earlier aligned with that path that I wanted to take. And so I could focus on what truly mattered. The turning point for me was realizing that success is not a one size fits all. It's going to be personal. It is deeply personal. Your definition of success is not going to match mine, and that's okay. Isn't that a beautiful thing that we all get to create what that looks like to us? And when you block out the noise and you focus on what your values are, that's when you can really take off. And so how do you redefine your success? I'm going to tell you. You need to, first off, this is number one most important, is to ask yourself what values are important to you. What is at the top of your list in life? And then let these values guide your decisions that you make. Write these things down. Take the time to know what is important to you. So, for example, is it your relationships? Is it being the best parent, the best mom that you can be? Is it having a life that's emphasized with wellness? Is it having balance in your life? Whatever it is, know it. And then you can do the next thing, which is setting goals that align with these values. And then you can focus on what you want to be, what you want to do, not with what others expect from you. An example, do you value a life of authenticity? Maybe your goal is to journal for 30 minutes at the end of the day and ask yourself, did my actions meet what I value and what I'm trying to put out into the world? Am I staying true to those things? Maybe you value growth, so you can set a goal to read a new book every month that challenges your knowledge, that stretches your capacity for new things. And then maybe you value stability. Is that financial stability? Create a budget where you set aside 20% of your income a month. Whatever it is, you see what I'm saying. If it's purpose, go out and live a life of purpose. Set goals. I'm going to donate to this charity. I'm going to volunteer. Your values and your goals have to align. And again, they're not going to be the same as the person next to you. That's okay. So some action steps you can take after you've kind of redefined what your success looks like personally to you. This is a fun one. This is meant to be fun. You can create a vision board. Okay, you can do it with a family or friend, whatever, and cut out images, words, pictures, and quotes that represent the goals that you already know to be true. Make it inspiring. This isn't comparing yourself. This is just like setting a visual vision board, something you can look at and come back to. So again, it's just meant to be a fun, light exercise. Set aside time on a Saturday or Sunday and have fun with it. The other thing, it's important to reflect regularly. Hopefully, you're going to change. You're going to grow. And so it's important to reassess what your definition of success looks like, to stay true to your evolving self. Always be changing and reassessing, because nobody wants to be stuck. You always want to be going forward. And to recap, remember that you need to redefine a success that makes sense to you by understanding your values, what sets you on fire, what lights you up. That's the most important thing, because we get caught up in the movies, the social media, and all these things. We get caught up. So set aside time for you, because we do live in a country where we get to choose whatever path we want to go on. And that's an amazing, amazing thing. Take advantage of that. And so what I want you to do is spend 15 to 30 minutes, okay? Sit down, write your values, authenticity, growth, wellness, write them down. Then create goals that are exactly aligned with what you wrote down. Don't stray from it based on what you're seeing elsewhere. Stay true to what you wrote down. And if you want to go the extra mile, which I hope you do, create that vision board. Create that vision board. Make it fun. Remember, if you can work out for 30 minutes, you can sit and reflect on your success for 30 minutes. So thank you for tuning in. Comment below with any topics you want to see discussed. And remember, success is yours to define. We'll see you next time.